Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Kat and I recently got back to the UK after travelling the world for 2 years. But I haven't stopped travelling. A few weeks ago I took a trip to Italy and today I'm going to give you all my juicy tips and tricks on visiting Naples. Let's get cracking. Top tip number one is that a really good place to start your day in Naples is Pizza Alley, otherwise known as Via Tribunale. This is a really buzzing street in the old historic town. It's beautiful, there's so much going on. As the name suggests, there's a load of pizza, so if you're hungry you can grab, I was going to say a slice. They don't really do slices so much in Italy like you get in New York, for example, but you can grab yourself a takeaway pizza, you can grab yourself loads of different snacks on this street as well as pizza. And that actually brings me straight on to top tip number two, the best invention ever. When I say they don't do slices to take away, what they do is a folded pizza. I think it's called pizza Folio, which is basically a whole pizza and they just fold it in half and then in half again. Stick it in a bag and you just take it and you can just chow down on your pizza, walk in the street, it's just all folded up. Fantastic invention. Just a very quick interruption to say if you are enjoying this video, please click the thumbs up button below, it will really help me out. Number three, be prepared for a lot of litter and graffiti, but don't let it ruin your experience. I've seen a lot of reviews online, a lot of kind of chat forums talking about whether Naples is safe or ugly or really dirty, and lots of people going, oh, it's full of graffiti and rubbish and it's horrible, don't go there. Well, it is full of graffiti especially, and rubbish. It's just not a very clean city. But for me, that doesn't take away from the amazing place that Naples is. It's full of character. I think the graffiti, a lot of the graffiti adds to it. Some of it's just gross, but a lot of it adds to it. It's artistic, it's creative. In an ideal world, if Naples could be a lot cleaner, that would be great. Does the graffiti need to go? I don't know, I kind of think it adds something. It's a thing in Naples. Let's just get on with it. Number four, and actually maybe this should have been number one, pickpocketing is rife in Naples. I personally didn't have any bad experiences with pickpocketing, or good ones for that matter, but it's a well-known fact. I mean, in a lot of cities in Europe it's the same, in Paris, in Barcelona, but do you just really have your wits about you. Pickpocketing rules: have a bag that zips up, don't leave anything in your pockets. Doesn't matter if your pockets zip or your pockets button up. My dad actually once got pickpocketed getting onto a train in Barcelona from a pocket that was buttoned up, and somehow they managed to get in there. Don't leave your stuff in pockets. Put it all in a bag, zip it up, clutch it on you, and don't let go. Number five, stick to the path. Just the same as many cities in the world, if not all cities in the world, there are areas of Naples that you don't necessarily want to find yourself in. There just are pockets in every city that are not the best places for people to be. Now, Naples, you could argue, is a city that's a bit higher on that list for areas that you really shouldn't go into and could be quite dangerous, but to be honest, as long as you're sticking to the main tourist sites and the historic old town, the main town centre, you're not really gonna have that issue. So you don't really need to worry about it as long as you're staying in those areas. And obviously if you're walking around Naples late at night or travelling late at night, try not to be alone, keep your wits about you, don't get on the metro in a carriage on your own, try and make sure there are other people around you, yada yada yada, you know the drill. If you don't, maybe try London first before you try Naples. Number six, driving is very stressful in Naples. We experienced this firsthand. It was just a really stressful period. So if you can, avoid having a car. There's a great metro system to get you around. It'll probably take you longer to drive around the city anyway. Don't drive in Naples. Right, moving on to number seven. There is a lot of chatter online about whether Naples is safe to visit or not. Now, I actually, before I planned going to Naples, I hadn't really researched it at all. I just knew that it was kind of the pizza capital of Italy, and I'm very food led when I pick the places I want to travel to. So Naples has always been on my list. However, once I knew I was going there and had planned it in, I did then start to research what should you do in Naples, what are the top 10 things to see in Naples, like you may well be doing right now. Now, my experience was great. As I said, I kept all my belongings zipped away in a zip-up bag that I kept on my shoulder with my arm over the whole time. I didn't stray too far from the main areas, the main tourist sites in the city centre, and then I was just sensible and tried to keep my wits about me. However, there was one morning I had to walk about half an hour through areas that weren't particularly touristy. It was quite a locals Naples area, from the kind of business district to the historic old town. It wasn't the most pleasant of walks. I did come across a lovely locals market, which was great. I did get catcalled about 3 times in 30 minutes. So once every 10 minutes, if you're in a bit more of a dodgy area, you might be getting some unwanted attention from men if you're a female. Other than that, generally, I didn't feel any major threat to my well-being. Obviously, the catcalling stuff isn't great. It's not ideal. But you do get that in any city in the world, as far as I'm aware. If you want to see what I'm talking about with the Naples walk that I did, I actually vlogged that whole day, so you can go and check out in my vlog, which I will link below. Number 8, this is a money saving tip. You've got to be tourist savvy when it comes to taxi prices. Taxis to Naples airport from the main train station in Naples are 16 euros. Flat fee. However, if you don't know that and you are clearly a tourist, the taxi drivers will obviously try and charge more. And it's very hard if you don't speak fluent Italian to try and argue against them. But essentially, I would just stand your ground. I would say, no, it's 16 euros. I will wait for someone else. 16 euros, no more. Did you know only 2% of people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to my channel? If you are in the 98%, please subscribe. Number 9, I think 2 full days in Naples is enough. There's a lot going on in Naples and it can be quite a sensory overload, and I just think 2 full days in most cities is a good amount of time. Naples is quite an extreme city. You could definitely just do 1 full day if that's all you've got time for in your itinerary, but if you've got more time and you want to do museums and churches, I would recommend 2 days. 1 day to do the kind of just walking around the city, and then the second day for the museums, the more indoor stuff. And finally, we smoothly transition into tip number 10. There are a couple of amazing day trips you can do from Naples. Number 1, you can go very easily from Naples to see Mount Vesuvius and Pompeii. There are loads of tourist tours, as you can imagine, that you can book onto to do this. And secondly, you can also get a 1-hour train to Sorrento, or the ferry even. They both take about 1 hour to get to Sorrento, which is not technically the Amalfi Coast, but it basically is the start of the Amalfi Coast. So if you're wanting to do a bit of a day trip or get the Amalfi feel without paying the Amalfi prices, I would highly recommend. I was so close to doing that trip, but it was going to be on the same day that we had to get our flight back from Naples, and I just was panicking in case the train was delayed and I missed my flight, and regrets. I have serious regrets that I didn't make it to Sorrento. If you've been to Naples yourself and you have any other tips and tricks to share with me and my audience, please pop them in the comments below, because I'd love to go back one day. I will see you next week with another video. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye!